Winter is coming. It's cold in here. Hello friends, hello YouTube, how are you guys doing? Rainbow here with another Nerf mod video, and this time it's getting frosty again. I really love this new build that I'm going to show you now. It has been a commission by a friend of mine, the guy who already commissioned the Fire and Ice hammer shot way back. If you haven't seen those videos, I believe I have videos. If so, they're linked. So this blaster has been a commission and it's been so much fun to work with. But before we go any further, here we are. Bam! This is ICICLE LS-64. And yeah, I'm going to give you an overview right here. So back we are. Now, isn't this just a beauty? Like, oh my god, I never liked the Chris Vector kit in all honesty, and now I want one. But start from the beginning. What is this? What did I do? What did happen? So I got asked if I could do a ice paint job again on a Stryfe this time, so that it could fit the blue Chris Vector kit. And I'm like, yeah, sure. So this is what I did. Then the guy was like, a couple of weeks later, he's like, yeah, but I've already assembled the blaster. I'm like, send it to me and pretty much take it apart. So I got all the parts. He sent me all the worker parts still in box, but the inside of the blaster was still assembled. So I had to take it all apart to actually paint it, because my job for this one was to paint it. And then we added some things like a voltmeter just over there. Let's talk about the internals first. This thing is meant to run on IMRs because that's what he wants it to run on. It has the Aurora cage in it, as well as MyShell 2.0 motors with Bulldog wheels. And I know, yes, this is pushing the IMRs to the limit, and it's, yeah, but he wanted that. He knows what he's doing. He's been a modder for some time. I would do the setup differently, but this does work if you're careful. So the other thing that you will notice is missing is a ref switch. And that's because this is a dual stage trigger. So a minimal trigger pull will activate the motors, and then full trigger pull obviously pushes the dart forward. So yeah, dual stage trigger in here, which means a ref trigger delete, which is something, a little body modification that I had to do right there. The other thing he asked me to do, if I could have put a voltmeter in it, which I then have, and I put it right here. So it is not connected to the battery door. So when you open this, you see it stays right there. And that's the setup, 2 IMRs and 2 dummy batteries. That's what we're currently looking at. And so yeah, that's the voltmeter placement right there. Thumb screws go back in. There we go. And now when you turn on the motors, the voltmeter turns on with it. So, and then to see how this works, have no darts in there. Great, need some darts, be right back. You push the trigger. Like that. Dual stage trigger Stryfe, nothing new really. But that is the setup that he wants to run it. So let's talk about the external. So that's mainly what I did, because I got the rest pre-assembled. Just took it apart and had to reassemble it. So he asked me if I could do an ice paint job, and I'm like, yes, sure, I can do that. We talked about the name for the blaster. We came up with ICICLE. He wanted SubZero first, but that was already taken by Neptown Nerf. So, yep, there you go. We called it ICICLE, which kind of, went to design the paint job as well. So it was clear that we're going to do a fade from wide into darker blue. Overall, the paint scheme wanted to be lighter than the Chris Vector kit blue. So no, not really many dark blues, more white and light blues. And I've done this fade using an airbrush. Okay, so started with a blue, like a light blue base coat over everything. Picture right here. That's how it looked like when I started. And before I then started airbrushing, I put down little bits of tape. So these lines, they were actually randomly taped just to give it more of an icicle sort of cracked ice kind of look. And I just love it because I knew that when I tape those and then I do the blue fade from like white to darker blue, there will be a spot where they are visible. There will be a spot where they are almost invisible because it's the same blue as the background was. And then they will be visible again, but they go from dark to light in terms of where the paint job goes from light to dark. So that's the effect here, and it's really easy to achieve. As I said, just a light blue base coat and then taped over before I started airbrushing. Then I did several layers of airbrush on this one, on both sides, and then I came in and painted the handle black and the little details just with a brush. The name, it's cut out with a plotter and then using an airbrush as well. So it's spray painted on there. And he only wanted the name on it, he didn't want a number on it, which is fair, you know, commission it, request, that's what I do. Sorry for the camera tilt, if you've even noticed that. I was like, why is it going that way? So yeah, but still the running number of this blaster is LS-64. And this is the first half of a commission. There's going to be a second half of that as well, but that's going to be revealed at a later stage. So for now, yeah, I'm pretty happy with this blaster. It turns out fantastic. As I said, I didn't really like the vector kit. I still not know if I'm a fan or not. But with this setup, oh my god, I really just want one. And the collapsible worker stock, you know, for me should be a lot longer, but makes it, you know, it's so nice to shoulder. And yeah, I know it's missing the barrel. Most Chris Vector kits have the barrel here, but because the Aurora cage has a guide that's about that long, I have had no troubles with darts not getting out of this. So I've tested several mags and it just works fine. And this is why we don't have a barrel here. He might add a barrel at a later stage, but that's up to him. So here's a picture of the internals if you're wondering what that looks like. And the voltmeter is just wired straight into the connection as it is. Just sits up there, lights up on ref. So there's not much more to say about this blaster except for that I really love how it turned out. It's one of the things where I don't want to give it away, but you know, it's a commission. So yeah, it'll be well loved and it'll see a lot of games, I'm sure. And as I said, first part of the commission, you may have guessed right, the second part will be something hot, something fiery, but it'll take a little time to finish because it's more body work on my account. And yeah, I'm just going to leave you with that. This is ICICLE LS-64. I hope you did like the video. I hope you liked the build. I'm always happy, you know, if you go check out my website, check out the links on screen now, as well as my social media, my Instagram, my Facebook, as well as my Patreon. My patrons are amazing. Shout out to you guys. It's really cool. I also have an Etsy shop where my work is available if you want to purchase a blaster. And if you want to have a commission build or something like that, just send me an email and we'll talk about this. Thank you so much for watching. Happy modding, happy nerfing. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you next time. Love and sunshine.